Hi, I'm Lisa. I want to start off by saying that I think all the presentations already today are a testament to the change that I want to talk about. And I think what I want to talk about is that we're seeing a change in era, and a change in era, there have been many in history, but is when we start to question if the way we're living politically, socially, and economically really is the best, and how can we move forward. So we don't really know what the future from now on looks like, but we do know that these things are starting to be questioned. As an economics student, I was forced to become almost obsessed with the concept of progress. And with these definitions, in a lot of ways we have progressed, technological advancements for one, but in a lot of ways we haven't. Many societies are depressed, are lonely. In the pursuit of economic growth, we've plundered the environment. In a lot of ways, we've ruined our social fabric. We have increased inequality. And so I started to think about what is progress and how do we move forward into this new era? And I love this quote. It says that sometimes the way forward is the way back. I was lucky enough to have an amazing experience this December with an amazing community. And it took me back to a time before I'd become so accustomed to the world that we live in today. This is Akim and his wife Martha and their daughter Tandi, and they live in the north of Malawi in a village. Akim works at my home in Johannesburg for my family in our garden, and it was actually my brother's idea, but we decided to go back with him to his home and see how he lives and help him build his house that he's building. And in a lot of ways, I learned more from them than they could have ever taught me. We would say that we are more progressed in this community. There's no running water, there's no electricity, and of course these things would make their life a lot more comfortable, but in a lot of ways they've also progressed more than we have. They are happy, they have respect, they have social fabric. I've never seen a family laugh so much together and respect each other, and it wasn't just between the family, it was between the community and between strangers. And it was this real sense of Ubuntu that I've never felt before. And it wasn't only for people, it was for resources too. This is where we used to fetch water. It was 2 kilometers away from the home, so we'd take our cow friends and pump the water and take the water home and use it for cooking or cleaning. But it was the first time that I'd actually thought about the value of water, because it was the first time that I'd had to think about it. And so I thought this type of respect and this sort of understanding of the value of resources and processes and this sort of Ubuntu and respect and laughter and happiness that they had in their community, despite the lack of a lot of riches that we have, I want that. And I think in a lot of ways, maybe that's what our society is missing now. I think as a society, we've become quite disconnected. We can open the tap and the water flows, so we've never had to value it. We can purchase products that have gone through 1 million supply chains, and we have no idea how they got there or if they ruin the environment in the process. So I think and also with each other, we've become disconnected because we don't need a strong social fabric. We can go buy a 1 Series when we have our midlife crisis, or we can just buy the latest gadgets. So I want to thank this community in Malawi for making me realize that to go forward, I think as a society, in our hearts and minds, and in some ways we need to take a few steps back to before the time that we became so disconnected from each other and from Earth. But then I came back to Johannesburg, and we fall back into our normal lives, and I think, how do we put this into play? And so I made a little diagram, and at the top is the economy. It's everything that's produced. And what is produced, the economy, is literally just what is supplied and demanded. And below that, we get to choose what's supplied and demanded through what we choose to invest in or consume. And I think this is where we can make the change, is this is determined by our desires and our wants. And underneath all of that, it's our values and beliefs that determine what we desire and what we want, because we desire and want those things because we think they're going to make us happy. And somewhere along the line, the disconnect happened between our beliefs and our values and the economy at the top. And that is the reconnection that we can start making now. I put those information pictures there because information is the way that we can start doing this. There's already amazing things happening globally. Companies now have to report on their sustainability and integrated reports on how they interact with the community and the environment. Stock exchanges around the world are starting to make socially responsible indices. So there are all these changes that are starting to reflect that society is trying to make this connection again. And at the end of the day, to make this connection, we're going to have to be responsible. We're going to have to think about how to connect and how to consume and how to invest according to our values and beliefs and make that connection again. And it means that we're going to have to demand that our leaders and our corporations are responsible. And with this new generation of demands, I just think that it may lead us into a better future.